Michelle Malkin, the host of Malkin Investigates, which you see on CRTV, is joining us right now. Good morning to you.
I bet you're really tired because you were up late watching the Oscars, right?
Yeah, I kind of skipped over that, scrolled my Twitter feed, and got everything I needed to know from that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hollywood had to be wondering, you know, how sanctimonious can we be, being that how much has gone wrong in terms of gender relations, gender pay, and sexual harassment charges coming from that portion of society. But they did have, there's a little bit of hypocrisy when it comes to security. In fact, what Hollywood demands and what they're actually demanding for us to do when it comes to guns.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think that their operative slogan is armed security for we, but not for thee. You know, 500, a phalanx of 500 law enforcement officers, both locally from the LAPD as well as FBI agents. They were armed to the teeth. And can you imagine if every American school were as protected as the Oscars event? They strut around in their stilettos and their orange pins, virtue signaling about gun control, while not only are they protected by all of these armed security at this event, a lot of them travel with personal security guards that are all armed, and they live in gated communities behind tall walls, while they lecture the rest of us as racist nativists and people who advocate for the slaughter of innocents sanctimoniously because we disagree with them and defend our own Second Amendment rights. I think this is why probably you will see that at the end of the day, just like with the NFL, the number of people, the number of Americans who are tuning out all of these hypocritical liberals is larger than it's ever been, and they deserve it.
Well, you know, ultimately, you go to the movies to escape reality. So if you're going to watch the movie award show, you would think that it wouldn't be political. But it, you know, obviously, and we've played a little montage, I'm sure you've seen it, it was very political. If you're on the political right, you might have felt like, well, that's a party I'm not invited to.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they go out of their way to denigrate half of America, and then they scratch their heads and wonder why their own disapproval rates are spiking higher than Donald Trump, certainly. And you've got Jimmy Kimmel, who plays both sides of the aisle. On the one hand, oh, I'm just a late-night comedian, don't mind me. And yet, on the other hand, seizing every opportunity to falsely claim some sort of absolute moral authority, getting his talking points from Chuck Schumer on everything from gun control to immigration. Why can't these people just entertain without thinking of themselves as unelected politicians in this country?
Yeah, I think about being a little girl and watching it. Has it always been this political? When I was a little girl, I loved watching the Oscars. I wanted to be in New York or in California so badly. And so I don't ever remember it being like that, but maybe I was too young to know.
Johnny
but you
Carson,
say no.
he was an equal opportunity joker.
I know.
And it wasn't so politically sharp. Meanwhile,
well, and there's a chasm. There's a chasm between the reality of America and the way that these people live in such a bubble. And it's the preaching and it's the sanctimony that people have gotten sick of.
Well, there were some awards handed out by the Hollywood International Independent Documentary Awards, and I believe they are now on your mantle. Am I not correct?
Yes, virtually anyway. At least there is one organization that's willing to recognize that there are other creative artists out there who speak for the forgotten men and women of this country. And so my CRTV show, Malkin Investigates, was honored with one of these awards last week for an episode that we did on the forgotten men and women in the commercial fishing industry in New England. And we highlighted, I went out there and spent several days on the ocean with some of these third and fourth generation American family fishermen who've been under siege by radical environmentalists, who've been forced to fund these government snitches, observers who go on their boats and treat them as if they are convicted sex offenders, essentially. I mean, it's almost like they have electronic bracelets in order to be able to do their job. So we were very glad for the award, but even more importantly, glad to spread the word about the stories of these men and women, many of them, of course, who are huge fans of Donald Trump, elected him president, and hope that he can help them make commercial fishing great again.
Although their votes are virtually invisible in the New England area.
Yep.
Thanks, Michelle.
Did you have to take Dramamine?
I did. And the bracelets, too, Ainsley.
Yeah. Where can we watch it if our folks at home want to see it and they missed that episode?
You can go to crtv.com, and I've also put the entire episode free on my own YouTube channel at Michelle Malkin.
Look at that. That's great.
Thanks, Michelle. Great to see you. Congratulations on the award.
You too.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.